wanted to do a video to discuss, where I am in my career and my passion and interest in expanding my business coaching. So I've been a licensed therapist for over 20 years. I've also started and run and continue to run to this day Palo Alto Therapy, which is a service business in Silicon Valley, California. And I've also been a business coach for 15 years to other people that are very similar to me in terms of running mental health businesses, plus a few other business coaching to other service professionals. And when I really consider about the different things I've done, they dovetail very nicely. So when you're a therapist, you are changing lives, you're having direct impact with clients. When you're a small business owner, you're doing that, but you're doing that in probably bigger waves where you're impacting more lives through the work that you do, not only seeing more clients in my organization as the owner, but also the employees' lives that we're working with and trying to make sure we're providing great employment for them, reaching more people. And then the business coaching, very similar in many ways, that you're sort of being a coach, a therapist to these other owners who then have their therapists and their employees. So to me, that's just been super meaningful, is having that kind of impact on just individuals, sometimes at a greater distance, but sort of a wider impact. And as I've considered a lot about my skills, the experiences I've gained, I really value, diving deep into those different topics. So I've spent, many years in my beginning of my career really studying therapy, clinical skills, evidence-based interventions. I became sort of a fanatic when it came to those things, and I built Palo Alto Therapy using that knowledge and those skills, and that's been part of our value system at Palo Alto Therapy. I've also then done a massive deep dive into business. So once I became more of the business owner and really trying to run a service-based business, I became, again, fanatic about learning all the different things I could about how do you run the best business possible. It's just been an interest of mine, not necessarily for financial success, although that has come. That hasn't been the primary focus. And then also as a business coach, it's also been a huge interest of mine of how do I provide the best coaching by learning all I can about business and those aspects and really delivering what I did for myself and my business to other people. And so now when I'm thinking about kind of my next phase, I'm really interested in trying to share more of this, but with a larger subgroup of people. So rather than just focusing on therapy-based businesses, I'm really trying to focus on service-based businesses. So for me, it'd be a challenge intellectually, skill-wise, to be able to see, can my skills and the things I've learned about small business in the mental health field, can it translate well into other service-based businesses? And I've done a few test runs of that, and I think it works really well. Not to mention, most of my studying of business is not on mental health, because there isn't a lot of books written on mental health industry. So I've read over 200 business books, and most of those are on just all types of businesses. And so that's also been a really fun aspect of just my learning, is just trying to see how do I translate that into back to mental health, and then how do I translate into helping people who have service-based businesses. So that's a big part of it. The other part that I'm really excited about is when you're working with mental health professionals, most of us are trained with, emotional stability and how to really work on skills to help ourselves emotionally. But if I help people that are in service-based businesses that don't have that experience, I'm really excited to bring sort of that mental health, the emotional support into service-based businesses that aren't mental health related. And I think I have a lot to share there. Plus, I think it's a great way to combine, sort of the therapy skills, the business coaching, helping people with their overall balance of life. And that's been a great thing as a social worker, is, you really can help in all aspects of their life, not just financial or not just emotional, but it is really this big connection. And then for those of you that have read about, meaning and the meaning of life, or Ikigai, or trying to find your passion in life, that's also something that really has got me directed in this direction. Is this idea that I really do think I have these passions that I think are exciting to me. They're very intellectually interesting. I really do want that deep meaning of helping people in very dramatic ways, and putting that all together. And so that's also what draws me to small business counseling. And I'd love to be able to do that. I find it a great honor. I feel very respected, and people want to listen to what I have to say, but I'm also making sure it's a two-way street, that I'm trying to find out what your values are, what your goals are, and helping you reach those goals. So anyway, I wanted to share that a little bit, if that's of interest to you, as to why I'm doing this, and if that resonates with you. But it is a real passion of mine. It truly is interesting. And for me, it's always great to work with people that are so interested in what they're doing. Of course, I get paid well for what I do, but I'm doing it for a much deeper reason than just the financial aspect. So feel free to look around and be in touch if you want to have more direct one-on-one contact. Thank you.